Imagine being millions of miles from Earth aboard a state-of-the-art vessel embarking on the most critical mission in human history, only to realize that the ship itself has become your tomb. What happens when the ultimate triumph of deep space exploration turns into a claustrophobic, paranoid fight for survival against an unknown terror? Welcome to The Ship Final Voyage, a pulse-pounding, atmospheric science fiction thriller by Tim L. Ray. If you love the isolated, creeping dread of Alien or The Expanse mixed with the mind-bending mysteries of the deep void, this audiobook will grip you by the throat and refuse to let go. It is a masterclass in deep space tension, blending psychological suspense, visceral survival horror, and the terrifying reality of being trapped in a metal tube with nowhere to run. The narrative drops us aboard a massive, highly advanced deep space vessel that is pushing the boundaries of known space. The crew is elite, the technology is cutting edge, and the mission is shrouded in high-level secrecy. But as they venture further into the uncharted dark, the atmosphere becomes thick with the sterile chill of the corridors, the relentless hum of the engines, and the creeping, suffocating paranoia of deep space isolation. Ray excels at capturing the psychological toll of the void. When the ship's systems begin to fail, strange anomalies appear on the sensors, and the crew starts to fracture under the pressure. The tension is palpable. The audiobook narration brings this claustrophobic environment to life, making every creak of the hull and every blaring proximity alarm feel like a countdown to disaster. At the core of the thriller is the terrifying mystery of the final voyage. What is the ship really carrying? What did they find out there in the dark, and why is it now hunting them? The protagonist must unravel a deadly conspiracy and survive a catastrophic anomaly, while the very architecture of the ship seems to turn against them. The pacing is a slow, agonizing burn that suddenly erupts into heart-stopping terror. The audiobook format elevates this sensory-rich experience, with the narrator perfectly capturing the whispered fears, the frantic breathing, and the desperate, rational minds of a crew watching their reality unravel. Beyond the mystery and the horror, the survival aspect is brutal and grounded. There is no magical plot armor here, just desperate tactical survival in failing life support and zero-gravity environments. The found family dynamic of the crew is tested to its absolute limits as paranoia sets in. The action sequences are visceral and chaotic, forcing the characters to use their wits, their engineering skills, and sheer, unyielding willpower to outsmart a threat that defies conventional physics. You will find yourself holding your breath during the airlock scenes and checking your own locks when the narration describes the shadows in the corridors. As the plot accelerates toward its climax, the pacing becomes utterly breathless. The final voyage reaches its terrifying endpoint, forcing the survivors into a desperate, high-stakes gambit to either save the ship or escape before it is consumed by the void. The finale is a spectacular convergence of psychological horror, tactical brilliance, and explosive action, delivering a massive, satisfying payoff that will leave you staring at the ceiling long after the track ends. The Ship Final Voyage is a triumph of the sci-fi thriller genre. It is smart, terrifying, and unapologetically intense. Tim L. Ray has crafted a story that proves the scariest monster in the universe is the unknown. Plug in your headphones, seal the airlock, and brace for the final voyage. The stars are beautiful, but the dark is hungry.